And I'll tell you guys since we're all friends. Every character I write has a piece of me in them. Hi, I'm Lee Bardugo. You're listening to the GrishaCast.
Welcome to GrishaCast, episode 90. In this episode, we will be discussing chapters 24 and 25 from the book Rule of Wolves. This is your host, Eric.
And I'm Terry. From Nashville, Tennessee, this is your podcast for all things Grishaverse.
A world created by a member of Yale University's secret society, Wolf's Head, Lee Bardugo. Moist of Newcasters.
Hello.
Hi! Happy Grishaversary episode 2.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! So, let's real quickly get on into these listener cities.
Yes.
Yes.
First, we have Squim, Washington.
Ooh, Squim who? And then we've got Carlton, Australia.
Oh.
Thank you all so much. So, by the way, sorry about last week. Yeah. We
Things
skipped.
happen.
Things do, but we're back.
Mhm.
And so we've got some cosplay going on again. So if you want to check it out, go to our YouTube. And you do remind me of high school.
Yes,
It is,
I am kind of rocking the look that yeah.
but I feel like high school would have been a lot darker.
Yes. I mean, I wouldn't have contoured, like this, but
You
yeah,
did
it was.
good.
Thanks. It was the heavy black liner and the black lipstick, and
That's incredible.
I
mean,
did actually wear my hair in a bun quite a bit in high school too. So yeah.
well, I'm just looking at the contour. Like, that is incredible job that you did. Wow, look at that bone
Thanks.
structure. Work.
I
So-
know. If only I could look like that all the time.
So Terry is lovely Bagra,
Yeah.
bringing it on with a stick.
I mean, I don't really.
Have one,
I have
a pen,
a wand thingy.
a
But-
wand.
No, it's an eyeliner.
Oh.
I went to go look for the cane that I used for the cast thing, and I couldn't find
Oh, well, it's-
So whatever. Just imagine I'm beating somebody up with a stick.
Yes.
And I was going for, if you go to the Grishaverse page that has all the characters on it, I was going for that interpretation of Bagra, not the show Bagra,
And-
because she's darker in the Grishaverse picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is weird because now we do have we have the show version of characters and we also have the pictures that we've had. And
Mhm.
I agree with you. I love the illustrations that they have
Yeah.
of Bagra. So I
I'm looking fantastic.
faux for fantasy. I am just I was in King of Scars. This is my interpretation of Sankt Grigori, and I have fur blowing everywhere.
Oh, yeah, it is.
literally in the air.
in the big lights, you can just see a little fur everywhere. It's in the tea, it's in the cream, it's in everything. But it looks fantastic.
Well, that's good. That's fantastic. I'm glad. This is got the little harp.
Mhm.
If you read Lives of Saints, which we will be, I kind of took the inspiration from the picture, and his story was really cool. His actual story is he gets eaten alive by wild animals, which is really sad. But anyways, I also decided that another part of my interpretation is since he connected with animals and he put them to sleep with instruments and this thingy, I decided I'd bring out my shofar.
Yeah.
Sporting some Jewish Grishaverse realness. This is a shofar that I got for my bar mitzvah. Someone gave it to me, and
Would you like to explain the significance to the non-Jewish fandom?
so a shofar is a horn, and this is literally a ram's horn, and it's used to make some really interesting sounds. It's really hard to actually blow and make the noise out of it. I've never been able to do it. I give myself a headache every time. But look up shofar Rosh Hashanah or shofar Yom Kippur if you're interested in hearing what it sounds like. It's yeah, it's just the significance of kind of like, I don't know, when alerting. That's what it sounds like. I mean, like,
Yeah.
yeah, and the rabbi would stand up there and he like says like Tekiah, and then that's like, and then he's like Tekiah Gadola, and then that's like another one, and like special people can blow the shofars, and it takes a lot of talent.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't. Like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, this is it is a very hard thing to do, and we both are in band, and I'm just saying, this ain't like
No.
any of those instruments. Like,
I feel like it takes a whole different embouchure. Look at you. You made a sound.
and it vibrates your like
Yep.
lips too much, though. So, that would probably, I don't know if that would really protect me as Grigori if I was blowing that at the, because his story is that like he plays the like he puts the animals to sleep with his music, with his little harp thingy.
And if you think back to King of Scars,
Yeah.
he was the one that was all doing like shape-shifty thingies.
Yeah, exactly. Which makes it, like, which is always so fascinating to me because I don't understand the connection between his actual story in Lives of Saints
Right.
and then because he was the weird one. He was the one that was like 8,000 eyeballs and
Mhm.
8 legs, and he was literally. I remember when you got to the part and you're like, things got weird. That meant Terry just read about Saint Gregory
Yes.
because that is the
Yes.
weird part.
Yes. That whole thing is very strange. But to me in my brain, he's a little roly-poly bear because that's what I think of in the story is the bear that's rolling around.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. I was gonna actually try to do Juris and dress up like, but that would be like a dragon. And anyways, I figured this would be more fun to try to do.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, I
It's very creative.
well, girl, I mean, I just out of a book. I just took the picture. But we
Yeah,
had
but to put the pieces together, you did a very good job.
well, yeah, and what I realize is like as hopefully our podcast will keep going on and on, it's gonna get harder and
I
harder
know.
for us because we're
We're gonna have to repeat things.
yeah, yeah. We've got some good ones though.
Yeah.
We've got 2 episodes left, right? That we're doing this. Like, I mean, we've got 2 more costumes left, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. We're not gonna tell you what they are, but they're great. They really are.
Maybe.
Yeah,
The next
truth.
one's a little iffy.
Truth.
One of them's a little iffy.
Especially mine, because it's either got like it either works and you're gonna understand it, or it's going to not make sense at all, and I'm going to look crazy. So I just hope all my items arrive in time. But the other one's gonna be cute. Hey, we should stop talking about that because nobody can understand what we're saying. We're
No,
just, like,
we're
talking
being
and-
secretive,
know.
and that's rude.
But
We
I-
don't keep secrets from our friends.
I do want to encourage anybody out there that's like loves doing cosplay, and if you have like any like good photos or you really like have a like did a fantastic Grishaverse cosplay, share it with us, please. We would love to show it during our Grishaversary month. And I mean, yeah, this is fun. So I mean, yeah, please spread it. And some of the stuff I've seen, like you guys are really talented out there.
Mm-hmm.
Really, it's some hard stuff to do. But so we got an email, by the way, Care Bear.
I like it when we get emails.
Yeah, and this person, her name is Carrie, and she is from, it says Cheongnam Office of Education, South Korea, and she actually sent us an email just saying she loves our podcast and she wanted to know more about us, and she sent us this list of questions, which some of it had to do with Grishaverse, but the majority was literally about you and me.
Yeah.
And one thing I'm going to tell you before was she did say that Terry is gorgeous. She could easily cosplay as Nina.
Oh, that is
And
the
quote.
sweetest thing.
I know.
Thank you so much, Carrie.
Yes, thank you, Carrie. We love that you love it. And yes, so we're not going to do all your questions right now, but believe me, you will get the answers to all of them. But I picked out a couple for right now because I thought they would be fun.
Mhm.
So who are your favorite drag queens on Drag Race?
Ooh.
So this is going to be hard because I don't I just started watching the UK, and I really
Yes.
like some of them.
Yes. Heidi in Closet is one of my absolute favorites. I
Really?
love Heidi in Closet so much. Um,
Because she's funny.
yes,
Yeah.
I love her quick wit and her humor.
Yes.
Because it's not like too snippy and evil. You know what I mean? Like it's actually funny. It's not like, "Oh, girl, no, she didn't." Like
Right.
it's actually funny. And then I actually, but then on the other spectrum, I love Ahura. Um, that's on the UK one. If I don't know if everybody's watched the UK one.
Ahura is.
But she gets a bad rap
Is she in the first season or second?
first.
Okay.
She gets a really bad rap. Even now, there's a lot of hate for her.
Remind me, what is she? So I just watched the Snatch game.
I can't remember what she did for Snatch Game.
Ahura.
She's really young, and everybody I don't know, she's very snotty and she's got dark hair and I don't know. But there's a lot of controversy surrounding her and everything she does and everything she says. But I love her drag, and she actually grew a lot during the season. But
So I don't think Ahura was on season 1.
yes.
I don't recognize of UK.
Uh-huh.
I don't recognize that drag queen on Ahura.
Oh,
Are you sure?
what?
It might be. I really.
Maybe it was maybe it was Australia.
Oh. Well, it says Drag Race UK.
Oh, well, then
Ahura.
first one.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it says season 2 right here. Hey, the season's good.
Oh, are we on season 3?
Yeah, you are, girl. There's
Okay.
so
Wow.
yeah.
This is my life. I'm always confused.
It's okay. I mean, it's gonna just
Can't
get worse
even-
as
yeah.
we get older. So
Just bear with us.
exactly.
But anyway, Ahura.
Okay.
I love Ahura.
And I think I love it when people can actually appreciate someone's art instead of criticizing someone's character. And also, reality TV is not exactly just like reality TV.
Right.
So
I mean, she was a little snotty.
it's
I
drag
will give her
queens.
that. She didn't have a great relationship with one of the most beloved drag queens, and that
Oh,
didn't help.
Lord.
I know. And I'm not a fan of this most beloved one.
Yeah.
And I think she went on holiday and she got a really deep dark tan, and now she's being accused of blackface. It's just there's so much reaching, and
Wow.
I just
So I'm sure she said nothing about blackface, and someone
No.
just pretty much.
it was just an accusatory thing, looking at a picture of her being tanned. Yeah.
And see, that's what's crazy with Drag
So
Race.
much attack culture.
Well, it's as things get bigger and more popular, there's just I think what it is there's also a lot of younger I don't want to say you're immature, but there are some I think it's great that younger audiences are watching, but they also I think haven't matured yet to the point of realizing, I mean, what the show is about. I mean, there's a lot of pressure and
Yeah.
what they're trying to do, and I mean, I think Drag Race would be so hard to do. I couldn't imagine it, and it's an incredible show that I mean, considering where we started, one of my all-time favorites, I'll just say that, and from the US is Raja. I've always loved her. She won season 2, 3.
Raja's on the UK version a lot.
Raja is?
Not as a competitor, but
Okay,
she
wait.
comes on as a guest a lot. In the
The
workroom.
really skinny, tall,
Mhm.
well, oh my God. So Raja's amazing, and I got to see her perform at Play, and that made me just holy crap. It was incredible. But Raja is one of my favorites. I know you love Alaska.
That Alaska is my all-time favorite. Sharon Needles.
Of course.
Uh,
Yeah, I know.
When we can get into it, we have a fun,
We got a little tea on that
we
one.
have a fun story with that one.
A little hot.
Pearl, we've enjoyed Pearl.
We've met a lot. Well, we enjoyed Pearl in the Pearl is great. She got a little. It was interesting.
But yeah, so we probably shouldn't waste the entire show on this topic. We could. We could
Right.
do an entire episode talking about drag queens, and we might. Who knows?
We will
We
possibly.
could.
I-
We could do that. It could be an entire hour's worth of talking about RuPaul's Drag Race.
It'll most likely be on our YouTube. But
yes.
hey,
So
but
watch the YouTube channel.
from the UK version that my favorite right now, since I haven't finished it, and I know that you've watched, is, oh my gosh, I can't remember her name now. She played Donald Trump in the Snatch game.
Okay.
She's very young, but like she's just great. Do you know what I'm talking about? No.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
And
I want to say something. I'm not gonna.
You want to say something, but you're not gonna.
Yes. Well, you have the WoW channel, so you'll see it at some point anyway. They actually have a show where they do that, where they impersonate Trump on the
Oh,
WoW channel.
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, she did an incredible job.
Mhm.
But yeah, so drag queens are amazing. We could talk about them for
Yeah.
hours.
Moving on.
So next question: how did Terry come up with her pumpkin pie recipe?
Oh,
I know you-
wow.
I know
That's a deep dive.
well, but that's a listener
Carrie is
girl.
paying attention.
Yeah, I know, because I mean, I don't know the last time we brought it up. I don't
No.
think we haven't covered an episode on it. I
Wow.
mean, but yeah, so spill
So
the tea.
funny enough, I never knew how to cook or bake or anything growing up. My mom did not do any of that. When I had the kids, I wanted to know how to do that. We got a pumpkin carving kit one year, and on the back there was a pumpkin pie recipe. And I wanted to try it. I'm serious, like on those carving kits that you get at like the Dollar Tree or whatever.
Yeah.
And I tried it, and it was okay. But I was like, something is missing, and I worked on that thing forever. I wanted it to be more custardy, so I kind of combined the Dollar Tree carving pie recipe with like a traditional custard, and I kind of combined the two. And it's a secret recipe.
Well, yeah, of course.
that I hold very close to my chest.
I get it.
Because it's something that even pumpkin pie haters like.
It's amazing. It's the best pumpkin pie, and I'm not a huge pumpkin pie like fan,
Because it's not
but it's yours.
it's not like strong pumpkin-y, I think is the thing.
And yours is just it's also a winner all the time. Any kind of it's won a lot of prizes.
Yes, I have a lot of blue ribbons from
Uh.
it. I'm waiting for Martha Stewart, to give me a call about this.
Well, you know what? And oh my god, I remember
Martha Stewart is my hero, by the way.
the first time I saw your pumpkin pie, I also was amazed because they're also gorgeous. Like the crust is beautiful. The first one I saw, you had leaves and like branches, and I was like,
Yes.
who does that? My best friend does.
I had
of
one that
course.
had branches and birds.
Oh my gosh.
And then I had one that had fall leaves all over it.
Yeah.
But yes, I learned how to make the crust because I started out obviously doing,
You gotta start off.
freezer
Yeah.
crust, and then somebody said something about how easy it was to do a pie crust, and I laughed in their face. But then I had to do it because I'm a type 7. So if I'm interested in something, then I have to
Do it.
squirrel out until I perfect it. And yes, it got to the point to where they were going to disqualify me for bringing in a decorative plate. And I
Wow.
was like, no, no, no.
Well, it's some delicious stuff, and I'm the same way. Like I make banana pudding, and mine happens to be pretty good. It's not like award winning because there is no banana pudding award.
There might be at the
But-
fair.
Well, I looked. There wasn't. Can
There
you?
might be another category.
But everybody that's tried my banana pudding has been amazed. I switched some things around. I don't use vanilla wafers. I use a different kind of cookie. And yeah, I won't give away that recipe or my kugel recipe. So
But
okay.
what a great question.
It was a really good question.
Wow. We know you're listening.
Mm-hmm. So what was a time when you were really impressed with Lee's writing?
Oh my gosh, all the time.
It kind of
Typic-
evolves.
So typically, what happens when I know we've spoken about this before. When I read a book, like I know exactly what's going to happen. I know the storyline, but I keep reading anyway because you want to finish it out. Um, every time, especially in the duology of the Crow
Sacred Crows.
duology,
No.
that is such a complicated storyline, and to have no idea where it's going, or you think you know where it's going, and then this like twist comes and you're in the middle of reading it and you're like, "Oh my goodness, where did that come from? I didn't see that coming." That is such a good feeling
Yeah, especially for you because you can figure that stuff out.
because
So
I
to
have
be surprised.
conversations with you where I'm like, "This is what's gonna happen,"
Yeah,
or
and
I pick this up and you're like, "How do you even?" But that's just
that's just you. I'm horrible at that. Oh my god, I'm horrible at it. But
but no, yeah, to write like that.
yeah, I think her writing just evolves every single time she puts out another book. I mean, literally, like Rule of Wolves, like itself, like is beautiful. Some of the writing and like, it's great. I just love her story. I appreciate like a good storyline.
Mhm.
Like how we were saying on Drag Race. Sometimes the winners start off like kind of shaken, but like it's a winner can you can win RuPaul's Drag Race if like it's all about like your journey.
Right.
And Lee's journey is really cool to see, and she's open about it. She's not hiding it. She like I mean, it's neat to see that. So I love yeah.
Yeah.
uh, Yeah. So next question, which I think this is a great one, and it'll be the last one. What is a book that you wish you could read again for the first time? For me, it's this isn't me, this is hers. For 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 her, it's 1000 Splendid Suns by Khaled Hosseini.
Wow.
Hopefully I've
Okay.
never heard of that, so
Uh-uh.
I'm sorry if I said that wrong, but sounds interesting.
Yeah.
And I love that question.
Uh, Voyager, I think. Well, yeah. If we're going, okay, there's several that I could think of, but just off the top of my head, I would say Voyager, which is book 3 in the Outlander series.
Oh, okay.
Um, because I would say Outlander, but Voyager takes you on such a journey.
So
uh,
have I, like, in the show reached
yeah,
that part?
that would have been season 3.
Okay.
It's that book. There's especially like the middle section of that book. It tugs at me, and I read certain chapters over and over and over again. Like if I'm in a rut, I just pick the book up and I have them marked, and I just read that section. It's special, and I wish I could go through it again because the first time I read through it, I was
Yeah.
just bawling my eyes out, and yeah.
Well, and see, what's funny about this question is, like, I have a horrible memory and like, my life is at, like, 10,000 speed, like, I actually can pretty much read a book again that I've read, but I will say A Cruel Prince.
Mm,
I, actually just started rereading that, and I absolutely just love it. And I don't remember all of it, but it's just like it's there aren't many books I can say that, like, I absolutely love so much that I want that feeling again when you, like, the surprise,
right.
and that's, really good stuff. I expected you to say a little bit about Anne Rice. No?
I mean, I was gonna go there too, because there's a few in there that,
Yeah.
like Tale of the Body Thief. Oh man, what a fantastic story. Lestat was one of my first loves.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, I mean and I was 9, so yeah, that would I've
Yeah.
probably read it 20 times by now, but
Hey, but, like, those books are amazing. I mean, they just get us, and I mean, and when I mean A Cruel Prince also, by the way, I mean the trilogy because I mean, I can't, like that first book is great, but yeah, I
there's
love
just certain writers that ruin everything for you, and Anne Rice and Diana Gabaldon and Lee, are kind of that. When you go to try to read something else and you're like, "Ugh,
yeah.
it's just not the same."
See, and I, actually, I am also gonna include Shadow and Bone.
Mm,
Because I just appreciate that story so much, and it is so good. It's her first book, but, like, it's just I don't know, I'd never read anything like it. All the surprises, like, I mean, like,
yeah.
it's just It was great.
Mhm.
So, anyways, okay. Well, that was some good answering some questions, and she did have a PS I want to read that says, "PS: I passed through Lebanon, Tennessee when I went on a road trip about 4 months ago. I can't believe y'all are from there. I visited my friend. She lives near the outlet mall."
All right.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you.
Wow.
And I I felt so bad because this email came in like about a week and a half ago, and I thought it was something else, and it got buried. I didn't read it till this morning, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is some like." And so I like immediately was like, "I'm so sorry I didn't respond." But anyways, thank you so much, Carrie, and
Yes, thank you.
I'm gonna share the rest of the questions with Terry, and we will probably do like a GrishaCast after answer
Yeah.
those because those will be fun. But thank you. We love doing that
Yes.
stuff. Um, so
So yeah, we should definitely
yeah,
get going.
we should get going. We got 2 chapters, and I know I shouldn't do this, but Chris, can you give us a time check just so we know? Um, perfect.
Alrighty.
Okay, so it's me first. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so chapter 24 is Mayu, which is very different for me, by the way. I haven't really covered a Mayu chapter. But okay, so Makai says with so much assurance and honesty that she might reveal the secret laboratories um used to create the care good, that she still hadn't even actually admitted whether they were real or not, but she's considering it. So we just have to remember where we're with Mayu. Mayu is back in Shuhan. She's trying to like so she's with Eri. Yeah, so we're in Shuhan. So anyways, Tamar is with her, and Tamar and Mayu escorted Eri to a part of the palace called the Nest, which I found a little intriguing. Um, it was a place, I guess, that she grew up with her sisters, and she's got a lot of memories. She's been there for 3 days, and memories kind of fly by where the girls are all treated like they are heirs for the throne. However, the eldest is the one most looked upon to take the throne. And the boys are told you can be, well, I feel like you can be anything you want to be as a man of Shuhan when you grow up, as long as it's related to these very large and wide and a very large umbrella of options: military, medicine, or religion. So I found that fascinating because I was just like, wow, what a change in
Yeah,
reality.
it's kind of opposite.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And like I just thought that was so interesting, and it's just like those 3 options: military, medicine, or religion.
Mhm.
Wow. Um must be overwhelming to figure out like which one you're going to pick. But anyways, Aries got her sisters coming surprise, they're like, "Hey, what up, girl? Got to come and say hello." And there's silks and fabulous. Like, I would love to see this. It sounds gorgeous to
Mhm.
watch. So I don't know how many sisters she has because I kind of was getting confused. But she's got 2 sisters that visit, Karu and Yenye. And then they mention a sister named Jem, and Jem is not there because she is mourning her daughter, a Kenny, who actually is the niece of Makai's that we watched die in the very first chapter.
Yeah.
Oh, you just knew that?
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, I went and I was like, thought I was just like a sleuth. I was like, ooh, I wonder if that's like. So I went all the way back to the first chapter, and I was like, oh my god, that's her. So okay, well, I thought it was neat. I thought I uncovered something that I guess you guys all knew. Well, anyways, but yeah, so she's not there. Her daughter died in the blight. We know that. Mayu doesn't know her sisters that well. We learned that like their relationship is very just it's not like a typical like sister relationship. They all are very, I guess, kind to one another, but they don't fight because they just don't get to know one another that much.
Mhm.
And the sisters, like, I mean, we have to remember, like, what's really cool about Shuhan is, like, I mean, it's all about queendom. So, I mean, it's not about kings. And so it's kind of like, put some women in charge of who's gonna be on that throne, I mean, there's gonna be some conniving and some trickery, and I mean, I live for it, so that's awesome. Um, each one of the sisters has Tavkarad protection, and the sisters, of course, ask her about Ravka, and they discuss how Makai's presumed heir died. So that confused me. Okay, so Makai, Queen Makai's presumed heir died, which is a Kenny. How and why am I confused about this? Like, I mean, like that's her niece, right?
Yes, that's who she was planning on. In the very first chapter, she says that's who she had planned on giving the queendom to.
Oh, when she's done.
Hmm.
Like when she Oh, okay. Got Wow. Okay. I was just like, and that's right, I forget. They choose. You can
Yes.
pick.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
This next part is a conversation that well, I'll read it. So anyways, quote, Keru has delayed her wedding date, said Yenye, working her needle through a pattern of violets. Only because I'm trying to find the right peach silk for my gown. Yenye lifted a brow and ran her hand through the white streak in her hair. It's because Makai's presumed heir died in that horrible blight. Princess Eri gasped. She was only 8 years old. Yenye touched her hand to her hair again. I didn't mean to be callous. I only meant Keru swallowed a bite of plum. You meant that I would take a child's death as an opportunity for Makai to name her heir? Don't tell me it didn't cross your mind, said Yenye. It did, Keru admitted, but Makai won't name any of us. There are rumors, though, Yenye said slyly, about you, sweet Eri. End quote. So, um, the rumors, that was interesting to me, just because, I mean, like, Eri says that because Eri is not interested in this at all. She does
Mm-mm.
not want to be on the throne. She says the only reason she was possibly going to even marry the Ravkan king, like, and did that whole thing was because she follows the order of the queen.
Yeah.
And which is her sister. Um, Anyways, that's the end of their conversation. The sisters leave. And Mayu is disappointed because this was Aries' chance to kind of like, get them on her side or explain further about the story of the truth. And she didn't do that at all. She didn't bring up, like, hey, by the way, my sister tried to kill me twice. And also, like, I mean, like, that was just her opportunity. Ari mentions how, like, her sisters have no influence whatsoever, and also, like, it could even lead to the point where then they could use it against her, and they could go and try to go for the throne, and Ari's like, "The last thing we need is, like, the throne to be in jeopardy."
Hmm.
So it's interesting, just because I feel like Ari is being pushed into, like, this into getting the throne, and you can just tell she doesn't want it at all.
Right.
Um, okay. So, anyways, Aries not. Oh, we already. Oh, I'm sorry. I was about to say Aries not close with her sisters. Well, yeah, we already said that. Tamar thinks about her brother. We haven't heard about him in a little bit. His name is Ram. I think we have heard that, and if we remember, it's rumored, right, that because he's missing. But it's rumored that I'm sorry, I'm confusing Tamar and whoo, sorry girls. I mean, okay. Um, Tamar does not think about her brother Ram because that is not
No.
right. I'm sorry. Mayu
Hmm.
thinks about her brother Ram. And Ram he went missing and supposedly the rumor, right, is that he's a Caregood.
Well, she knows that he is because the queen gave her the option to save him by killing herself. That was the trade-off.
Right. You're right. But I felt like that part also was kind of like still like sketchy just because like you never know. Like, I
I don't
mean,
think she fully knows, but she knows that he's in that program.
he's missing and they were close and they're twins. That's another thing.
He
They're
was missing, but she knows that the queen had him in the program, that special program that
right.
nobody truly knows what's happening.
Yeah, there is no proof of this. Um so Mayu confirms with Eri that she's gonna help her find her brother. They use the word kebin, which I think is neat. It's a shoe word for twin. Um, they decide to stop squabbling and like Mayu asks Eri who she like. They just realize they've lost too many people. This is wartime. Why are we like fighting over? Like it doesn't even sound like they're fighting, but whatever. And Eri says we've both lost too many people, and Mayu's like, "Who did you lose?" And she says her sister, which is very interesting. Like I mean, her relationship, obviously, I
Yeah.
guess, with her sister meant a lot. Um, Anyways, at this point, fireworks explode and in the sky, and it's blue and gold. And I didn't know, but that's Ravka's colors. Did you
Mhm.
know that?
Yes.
Damn. Okay. I was like, how did I not? Blue and gold. That's it. Like I okay. Well, blue and gold, Ravka's colors. Everybody else knew. Um, Tamar says that was the signal, saying that Makai's messenger is on the move. Okay, so they're trying to find these laboratories. They then get into a coach, and for a minute, and then Tamar says, we're a mile away, possibly from this place, so we need to go on foot. And as they get closer, they realize that they are actually at a dairy. And here's a quote: Queen Makai had hidden this secret facility in plain sight, and her messenger had led them right to the door. She'd taken the bait. Ari had made sure to tell Makai that she'd left Grisha guards to protect their grandmother at the Palace of the Thousand Stars. They knew that threat wouldn't stop Makai, and they also knew that she couldn't use her Tabkarad against Lady Kurtaban. They would never raise a hand against a Taban queen, even if that queen no longer sat the throne. So who could Makai use against a fighting force of Grisha? Soldiers who supposedly didn't exist. They're Caregood. To deploy them, she had to get a message to one of her secret laboratories, and Tamar's scouts had followed. End quote. So we know that was kind of the setup. Tamar goes to kind of like investigate and check in a little bit closer, and Ari and Mayu are standing back, and they discuss how Ari wanted to live in the country, and Mayu would have been pretty much made to go with her. She would have gone off with her because she's her Tavkarad soldier, and emotionally asked Mayu if she would have followed in the footsteps at the committing suicide and the murdering. Because remember, um, Mayu was passed out during that time, so she's asking her like a pretty personal question, kind of like, "You were one of my guards. My guards all did this to me. Would you
Mhm.
have done it?" And they all just like they very much follow their queen and the orders, and she pretty much kind of like I think she regrets it, but she says she would have died with her sister. Tamar returns in a Tovgarad uniform. Ari loses it because she's like, you're not supposed to be wearing that. And Tamar's like, yeah, I can. I have a right to wear it, and I can't enter there looking like a Grisha from Ravka.
Right.
So I love this next quote because of the description of the Tovkarad uniform. Mayu tried to push aside her outrage. Tamar had dressed in the black uniform of the Tovkarad, her short hair hidden by the tilted black cap, the carnelian falcon at her shoulder. Mayu knew these things, these symbols of honor and tradition, shouldn't matter to her anymore, but they did. I just think that's neat because I love like a strong woman in a awesome bad butt uniform. That just sounds great. Um, Tamar tells Ari that she needs to be careful. They don't know what they're about to walk into. Um, Makai's messenger had left already 15 minutes ago, so Ari had to survive. They keep on presenting that to her as if that's not gonna make her more nervous. Like, by the way, we have no clue what we're about to walk into, but you need to survive. I'm sorry, I'm herring
I got one
everywhere.
up my nose. I took a breath.
Oh no, that's horrible.
I felt it.
At least it's not a bug. Have you ever when
Oh
you had
yeah.
that or yeah.
When you like take an inhale with your mouth open, then you're like
And you know what's worse is I'm like, I'm all over the place. I'm a very handsy person, so it's probably making this worse. I should probably try to stay as still as
you're fine.
possible. Well, I love you for dealing with it.
You do you.
I I do. Um anyways, they walk up to the entrance. and are stopped by a guard, obviously. And this is where we get to see Aerie do something she's never done before. She pretty much acts very strong and like her sister. She pretty much she says, "Hey, did you just get the message from my sister? Well, I've got a new one. There's a new message, and it's got this green seal on it." And the like the guard's like, "Can I see it?" And Aerie's like, um, "Excuse me?" And in this way that, like, obviously, like, she's like, "I beg your pardon," and she's never done anything like that, and the, like, guard is like, "Holy poop, I shouldn't have done that." Luckily, because that wasn't a real seal. Um, anyways, she actually, like, I feel like I see her growing in this moment because she just is being strong and she's getting them in there. Um, she's going to. So, they enter, and Aerie convinces the guards that the message from Makai to get the Karagud ready for battle was a mistake, and that she is here to deliver this news to abort preparing the Karagud. So she asks the doctor in charge if he would show her around, and he agrees. Aerie is kicking butt at this acting, and anyways, the doctor begins his tour of Jurassic Park. That's how I feel. It's like a unique build of Build-A-Bear, where we threw away all the bears and replaced them with humans and dinosaur parts to create an absolutely terrifying being. Um, because that's what this is. And I didn't really understand the process of all this until reading it the second time, that there's two Grisha involved with this. Like, so the doctor calls them volunteers, by the way, which we know that ain't true. Um, they use sedatives to help the Grisha be able to, like, calm down, and also parem is used. He mentions how they use it on the Karagud to help with restlessness they have at night, considering they don't need to sleep. So Mayu hears that and she's like, "Why do the Karagud not need to sleep?" So put a pin in that. Aerie asks where they come from. Here's the quote. "Well, willingly enough, after this first taste of parem, he gestured to Bergen, and the Grisha rose. He wore a kind of uniform, loose gray trousers and a tunic of the same fabric. Mayu saw desperation in his face, the same helplessness the other prisoners shared. But there was something else there too, rage. He was still angry. He was still fighting. Bergen was a translator working for a shipping concern in Fjerda, but when his powers were discovered, he tried to flee the country. Our troops intercepted him and offered sanctuary." Fury flared in Bergen's blue eyes. Mayu doubted the doctor's story bore much resemblance to the truth. Bergen had probably been dosed by the Shu troops and taken captive to serve as a volunteer. So there's like this buddy system in place that I'm getting. There's the volunteer Grisha who creates the Karagud, right? Like that. Like, I mean, it's just this weird. Like, I just didn't realize that. Like, it's to create a Karagud. Am I reading this right? Like that it involves two Grisha. One takes the parem so they can create the Karagud, but the Karagud is also a Grisha
Right.
that they're like,
Yeah.
so yeah, I didn't realize that. Interesting. Second read through. Anyways,
But is the Karagud? I don't think the Karagud are always Grisha.
so like
I
I
think
mean,
can be because Ram, I don't think
okay,
is Grisha. I think it's like soldiers, like strong soldiers, but the Grisha obviously have to help.
okay, so I got confused. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not what I thought. Okay, so the Grisha are just used to create the Karagud. Um, okay, I get yeah, that makes so much sense. Lord.
I mean, I could be wrong, but that's what my brain
Well,
is
girl, it's my
saying
chapter.
because Ram isn't
Yeah, you're right.
Grisha. Okay.
You're right, and that makes perfect sense. So, all y'all, I love y'all out there. I'm sure some of you were screaming at me, but hey, that's the fun of this. Um, so the doctor wants to show a new experiment as of lately. Before Mayu looks, she knows that what she's about to see is her brother. And here's this quote because I have to read it. Ram laying sleeping inside the chamber. He had the same troubled expression as the others, as if in his dreams he was not the hunter but the prey. She hadn't seen him in almost a year, but he was the same Ram, tall and lean, his long hair pulled back from his face in a high knot, the way he'd always worn it. He had a tiny half moon scar on his cheek from when he'd been hit by a rock Mayu had thrown in anger. Okay, I'm going to skip a little bit. Important part. Wings had been attached to his back, and bent at his hips were metal pincers, jointed like insect legs. Mayu felt her stomach turn. I can't even picture that. Like, I mean, I just can't. Tamar says that she sent scouts to go wake up the ministers. She wants to get Maki to get exposed. And she doesn't want Maki to have time to clear him out. And then a voice from the background comes out, and the voice says, "But we already intercepted your scouts," says Queen Makai. Uh-oh, boom, boom, boom. Queen Makai there. So this is our short scene. It's the end of this chapter because I wanted to play the ferocious Queen Makai. I've never done it, and these lines are just like right on. It's very short, but it's going to end out this chapter, which I'm sure you guys are very happy for. So, anyways, here we go. Are you ready, by the way?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So, curtain up. Oh, and a special thank you for our background music created by Kendra Dantes in year 26. And Terry's playing Mayu. Sweet Airy, Maki said. Did you really think I was that easily outwitted? You are so new to this game, and I have been playing since we were children.
Ram, Mayu whispered urgently. She squeezed his hand. Ram, wake up. They needed to get free of this place right now.
Allow me, said the queen, pressing a series of buttons on the wall. A loud hiss sounded, and a faint orange mist shot from spigots at the head of the container.
Her brother's eyes snapped open as he inhaled the stimulant. Ram? He looked at Mayu, his expression blank.
This sentimental bond of Kevin has never made sense to me, said Makai. I was supposed to be born a twin, but I murdered him in the womb, or so my nursemaid told me. She said it was why I was born with only half a soul. I'm going to enjoy watching your brother kill you all.
Ram, it's me. It's Mayu. He gripped her hand harder. Yes, it's me. You know me. Ram, you have to come with us.
Go on, the queen said. Do what you were made to do.
Ram's fist clenched. Mayu screamed and collapsed to her knees as her brother broke every bone in her hand.
End scene. Curtain call. I know that was short, but like, dang. That sucks.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That was. Okay. I know, I had a lot in that chapter.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's a lot of information too.
There was, because it was the first time we like really got to know more about like the Shuhan stuff. Okay, so I'll stop talking so you can do chapter
Chapter 25.
Nina, what
Nina.
up? What is she doing?
Surprise! Nina and Hana have a plan to get into the Driskella sector again to get Magnus Upture out of there.
So they're gonna go back. Thank God.
Remember, he's in that cell.
Yes.
She has already destroyed the letters. And was that the best thing to do? I'm not 100% sure.
Agreed.
I think because the letters denounce basically, Nicolaus King, maybe it would have been, but like to just destroy the letters kind of like just hits wrong.
Well, yeah, it seems like a very impulsive action for something that's very like,
I mean, I assume she doesn't want anybody to know. So like that's the best way for no one to know. But it just, I don't know. The I guess historian in me or whatever is like, there's like important letters that you just destroyed them. But
Well, exactly. I mean, I agree. Like, I mean, they could be put in a time capsule and read way after they're dead, so people know. But I mean,
when you write the biography.
Yes, the biography of Nikolai's heritage.
And Magnus Upture.
Ooh, Upture.
Hana is going to get climbing gear, and they're going to climb into a window. they're going to free Magnus, change his clothing, and have him just walk out among all the party people. I mean, that's very Kaz, right? Like that's
It
I wonder
is.
where she's learned that from.
Yeah.
So, but there's a problem.
Well,
Little
there are.
bitty problem. When she gets to the cell, it's empty.
Uh-oh.
That's weird. While she's trying to rummage around, she's trying to like figure out what happened. Did they like kill him? Did they take him somewhere? So she's trying to go through all this stuff. And in all the rummaging, she sees the plans for like the war gear, like plans for weapons. And then she finds a report that he has escaped. He let himself free.
Do we have like I don't know if it said it. Do we know like how long it's been like since she like first saw him in there and now going back? I know that's random. Like
It's I think I want to say it's like the next day
okay.
or
I was just
yeah,
wondering.
because she was trying to work fast. And so in this report, they blamed him for taking the letters. So no one's ever going to know that she was the one that destroyed him. But they also found a piece of sharpened bone. So if we remember when she found him in the first place, he grabbed at her.
Yes.
And so she thinks that in that grab, it wasn't just to get her attention. It was to try to get anything from her
Ooh, yeah.
to pick the lock and found those little bone shards in there. So
Ooh.
he used that to pick the lock. Can we say Nikolai's father?
That is like wow, that's amazing.
Yes.
I did not catch that the
Yes.
first read. So like
Mhm.
that's incredible. That's a MacGyvering.
That's Nikolai. That's Sturmhond,
It is.
right? Like it's very in line. Like that's obviously where he gets his
Yeah,
skills.
absolutely.
She hears a noise and she has to get the heck out of Dodge. But it's too late because there's Joran.
Oh.
She turns into Mila instantly and turns into, this like, oh gosh, I'm so scared. What am I doing? She tells Joran that she's waiting there for Broom to do awful things.
Yeah, so this is awkward because I mean, obviously, she's not supposed to be there at all. How did she get in? I mean,
Yes, so she has to come up with something quick. And it's that she's meeting Broom for inappropriateness. And Joran isn't like surprised about this. So this obviously
Well.
is something that's happened before. But he's just concerned that she's in there by herself and that she got in there in the first place because Broom's nowhere around. But as she's contemplating this, she's also trying to decide if she's going to kill him. Like in her brain, she's like,
right.
do I just off him now? She's got her shards ready. And this is where our scene comes in.
Ooh.
And it's a little long.
Hey.
But there were like many pieces that came together in here and there. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And hey, my son has got to learn a monologue, so we've been talking a lot about like cold readings and acting.
Oh.
So who you playing? Who am I playing?
I'm
or is
playing Nina.
okay,
And you're playing Joran.
Joran.
Is this a cold reading for you? Is that what brought that up?
Absolutely. Yep. I have not.
All right.
But that's okay.
Cold scene.
I have done some really good cold readings recently.
Well, good.
I got some from Mean Girls, and like I was just showing him how to do it. Even one that literally, like, I mean, like total cold reading where I had never read it, had no clue what it was at all.
All right.
So like, and I did good.
Well, let's
Let's
do good.
Yeah. So here we go. So Curtain. A special thank you for our background music created by Kendra Dantes in year 26. By the way, Kendra Dantes is rocking it. Yeah, check out. Music is on Netflix. Lucifer season end. I don't know, last season. So, we love you, Kendra. Okay, curtain up.
Nina stepped to the left, maneuvering so that the light shone directly on Joran's face to aid her aim, then paused. Those are relics. Bones spread out on an altar cloth, laid atop a trunk for clothes. A woodblock carved with the rough shape of a sun propped up against the wall.
Joran tried to move his body to block her view, but it was too late.
That's an altar, Nina said. To the saints. That's why you're not with the prince tonight. You came here to pray. Jorn didn't try to deny it. He stood as if rooted to the spot, motionless in the way of an animal sensing danger. He didn't know the half of it. She should kill him now, quickly, easily. Whose bones are those? She kept her voice gentle, easy, as if she was asking about what he'd had for dinner last night and not hearsay committed within the walls of the ice court.
Jorn opened his mouth. She saw his throat bob, and the words seemed to fight their way out. Alina's, he rasped. I bought them down in Gerholm. I know they're probably fake, but
they brought you comfort. People all over Ravka, and maybe now Fjorda, too, kept relics that had supposedly belonged to the saints. Finger bones, a fragment of spine, scraps of an ancient garment. Nina's power told her that the bones Jorn had purchased weren't even human.
She was a soldier, he said, almost pleading. She saves people, Fjordans and Ravkans alike.
Is that what you want? Nina drew a little closer. She could hear voices in the hall. She needed to get out of here, get back out that window and down the ice moat with Hana. But she also needed Jorn to trust her. If he mentioned her presence here to Broom, she was done for.
I want to be good. He shook his head, fighting his own logic. Soldiers aren't good. They're loyal. They're brave.
He had never seemed so young. She forgot sometimes that he was only a boy, really. Not even 17. They can be good, too.
Not us. He looked to her then, his blue eyes haunted. Not me.
Alina Starkov wasn't just a soldier, she said very quietly. She was Grisha.
He squeezed his eyes shut, head bowed as if ready to take the beating he knew he deserved. I know. His voice was harsh. I know it is sacrilege.
Not necessarily.
Jorn's eyes snapped open.
Maybe Grisha power isn't quite what we've been led to believe, she said. Those were Matthias's words from so long ago. They've been a balm to her, a gift that had helped her heal and accept who she was. Maybe their power is a gift from Gel, one more way he shows his strength in this world.
No, that's blasphemy. That's...
Who are we to say we know the mind of God? Are there other among you who feel this way?
Yes, said Jorn, his jaw jutted forward, but I will not give you their names.
I didn't ask for them. I never would. Could you help me get back to the White Island?
Yes, he said, I'll help you. You must find a way out of his household.
She would, when her work was done and not before. I will, but I cannot leave Hana. As she said the words, she knew they were true.
Jorn hesitated. It would be better if you kept her away from the prince. He's weak.
He grows stronger every day.
Jorn gave a sharp shake of his head. I've known plenty of wounded men, people who have lost limbs, who live with pain or sickness. They bear their suffering without ever playing the games that Rasmus does. The flaw is not in his body, it's in his soul.
He's been nothing but good to Hana. At the hunt, he was humiliated.
That wasn't the first time he lashed out. I saw him knock a boy from his horse and claim it was a joke. The child split his skull on the cobblestones, but no one said a word because Rasmus is prince.
He's changing, she said, more hope than she felt. The stronger he feels, the less he'll need to prove his strength.
He was testing his new strength, said Jorn, waiting to see who will stop him. And you know, no one will.
Nina set her foot on the invisible path, feeling the cold of the water through her boots. She made herself go slowly, carefully, when all she wanted was to run from the Druskella sector and the truth in Jorn's words. She clutched her coat tight against the chill in the air. There was nothing else to do but keep moving forward. You choose your path. You hope to find a way home again.
End scene. Curtain up.
So it was actually longer than...
I thought that was great.
So I piece things together.
I did.
Yeah, because it was actually a lot longer. But we needed to know that Jorn actually prays to Grisha, basically.
Yeah, he believes in Satan.
That there are others, and that he is in this Druskella thing. So that is a big deal.
It's our first time actually seeing it because we heard rumors about it.
Uh-huh.
Now we actually have proof that
This person
Fjordan's
that's so close to the prince too.
yeah, and Fjord like, I mean, just Fjordans are believing in
Mhm.
and, it makes sense because, I mean, Fjorda doesn't, like, have religion really except for
It's Joe.
Gel,
Yeah.
but we don't know much about that. Like, I mean, at least, like, I don't know, if the country below me was having saints that were apparently alive and then dying and, like, moving around compared to, like, the spirit that's in a tree, I mean, like, I would be like, "That seems interesting." I mean, I don't know.
And
Um,
then we've got where he's warning about the prince, saying that
yeah.
he's not nice and that needs to keep Han away from him. So
Yeah, that surprised me. I really didn't expect when I read that for the first time to go in that direction. But I think it's neat, and it's crazy we were reading about these saints because I literally I didn't know much about sainthood and like Catholicism,
mhm.
and someone like let me ask them questions because I'm just the Jew that I mean I don't know much about it. Um, I didn't know that you even I did because she had a necklace on that had, Saint Assisi on it,
Mhm.
and I was like, "Oh, I've read that, prayer. I think that's neat." So and she explained to me how, like, yeah, you can pick a saint to, like, kinda look towards that you relate to, and she said there's, like, so many of them
Yes.
in Catholicism, and,
Yes.
like, I was just like, "That is so intriguing to me," because I thought it was just, like, a made up thing that I've read about in the Grishaverse.
You didn't know that that was kind of
I
like
mean, I knew
based off of Catholicism?
no, no.
Huh.
To be honest, like, I mean, I'd heard of, like, the word saints and stuff like that, but I didn't know that, like, it literally, like, I mean, Catholicism had so many of them and you like,
Each saint
so much.
each saint represents like a different
Yeah.
thing, and
Just like
if you need some strength in a specific area, then you can pray to that saint.
I just found it fascinating because, like, I just didn't know that. I mean,
Well,
or
look at you being more worldly through the Grishaverse.
oh, girl, I know, and, I mean, come on, I mean, I'm Jewish and all, so, I mean, I'm making Caden, by the way, he doesn't have to write an essay, but I'm making him read the book Night by Eli Wiesel. Did you ever have to read that in high school? It's a very small book.
No.
It was it's a true story of it's a Holocaust memoir. Eli Wiesel wrote it and it was when he was 13. It's him going to Auschwitz and it's very short. Um which makes it good for like high schoolers, but it's very powerful because it's just the age and like the
Yeah.
truth. And anyways, he's reading it, and I just think it's neat because like we brought Kaden into our home, and like Chris practices Buddhism. I like the traditions of Judaism, and I'm more spiritual. We are very much like Kaden. We're not pushing anything on you. We want you to learn and figure out what you want, and like it was interesting because he was intrigued by it. He asked me questions.
Yeah.
Like he actually like he got the book like and he highlighted things and came and asked me questions and like I just thought it was a really neat little thing to have and he like just I don't know. It was nice. And I was like, yeah, don't let anybody started talking about how some people made fun of him at school because he doesn't believe in God. And I was like, well, honey, that's where we live. And you know what? That's okay. Let them laugh. I mean, let them make fun of you. You can believe in whatever you want. I mean, and I could say something right now, but I'm not going to. Um, so we just have a very open household, and I think it's cool. And I've actually been studying so much about the fairies. I've been learning so much about all the different solstices
Mhm.
and like how like they're just beautiful. I connect to like it's just like it's beautiful traditions, and you're absolutely right. I'm sorry, but all that was stolen. Like Christmas and Easter, all that stuff is stolen. That was not made up by like I'm sorry, like that all is from like pagan holidays and like anyways, it's just neat. Um because those holidays like I mean they were just celebrated like kind of like were they considered holidays
I
and
mean,
or
yeah.
festivals
They were celebrations.
and it was just everybody did it.
Mhm.
Anyways, we are probably like at I don't want to ask Chris what our time is. Um Oh, okay, so not too bad. He just let us know it's an hour and 4 minutes. So hey, I thought it could be a lot worse. But it's that special time. Did you finish your?
Yes,
Okay,
all
just
done.
making sure. So, yeah, so those are two filled chapters with like information of characters that we really hadn't seen in a while. That's the one thing about this book is there are more storylines to kind of connect with and to remember. And anyway, so okay. Well, it's that very special time for GrishaCast
GrishaCast
news.
news.
See, I can do that, but yeah, so funny. I can't believe still have this. And who buys a 13-year-old to show? I mean, I don't know. I
So,
just
moving on to Alex in the field.
love our Grisha in the field.
Hi,
Hi.
Alex.
Hello.
And
How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Sure.
I'm a
We'll go with that.
little warm, to be honest.
Toasty.
Just a little bit. I mean, it's just a small little cover up, but
Just a little fur.
just a little fur. Hey, it's all faux fur. Anyways, how are you? How is the Grishaverse?
Well, there's nothing going on with the Grishaverse,
Cool.
unfortunately.
Hey.
We're just waiting for news to come out with them at this point. They're about to start filming within the next few months.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And absolutely, like, I mean, there's not gonna be news for a while. We had news like every week for a while, and we have to remember that before that, there was news like every year, maybe. So,
Yeah,
yeah, we're gonna hit some like low points, but that's okay. We know that everything's being made and in progress right now. So,
exactly.
yeah. Well,
Well,
happy-
thanks for keep on
Ex-
being in that field.
I know. Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's gonna start getting cold. So, I mean,
Bundle
I
up.
will have
Bundle
my cuppa
up.
soon, hopefully.
Hey, maybe I could lend you some.
There you
Grigori.
go.
Yeah, this will keep you warm. Anyways, thank you so much. You be good, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Bye. Okay, well, that was expected. Thank you, Grisha in the field. Love you. You just hang out there. Probably won't get any news till a while, but we know it's cooking. It's being cooked. So real quickly, thank you to our Fable Book Club. We love you, and check us out if you want to. That's a really great way to connect with other readers, and yeah, it's just a different. It's neat. It's an app you can download.
A free app.
Yep. I also want to thank Joanne from Wantagh, New York.
Ooh.
Thank you so much. She left us a review and she likes us.
Thank you.
You really like me.
Reviews are grand. Thank you.
Yes, they are. She listened. She likes us. She started listening to us about 2 months ago. After finished reading the Shadow and Bone trilogy, she says, "I listened to you guys on my drive to and from work, and you kept me company on my drive down to my family vacation. Love listening to you and reading alongside you guys. Big fan. Great podcast. Keep up the great work, guys." Thank you.
Thanks.
It's nice. And I think it's hilarious because if you have time, review us, that's great. But I ask so much of you listeners to do, and I realize that I listen to podcasts and I don't do any of the things that I ask you guys. I'm very sorry about that. So for the ones that do, thank you so much because I know that takes time out of your day to look it up and do it. Podcasts are really easy to listen to, but to actually go and rate it or to leave thank you for taking the little just the moment to do that. It makes us feel happy because we know we're at least doing something. Someone's getting something out of it. But yeah, so thank you so much.
Thanks.
Yeah, so Next week, we'll be continuing Grishaversary, and we'll be doing chapters 26 through 28. Yeah, the chapters kind of go a little weird here. But yeah, I did want to show one thing. And I've showed it before. This is our lovely Ismrude. This is Ismrude. Ismrude, if you remember, you have to. And if you don't, then just go to Siege and Storm, Ruin and Rising, where Terry and I covered it. And that begins a whole charade of us just being obsessed with a worm who was mentioned once in Lee Bardugo's Grishaverse. But point I'm showing him to you is because we actually are finally about to send him out. He is going on a world tour. So he's been stuck under Ravka for so long. Well, it's time to get out, girl. So we're going to send him around. And it's going to go to, of course, GrishaCast fans, only if you want to. Pretty much, we're going to send this worm to you. He's going to have a cute little passport. And you take a picture with him in a place that you love or a famous place where you live by. And we're going to put that on our socials. And we're going to watch him go around the world. And there's more rules to it. I'm going to explain it later. But I just want to let you know we're getting close. This is Ismrude. And yeah, so thank you so much for listening. If you want to send us the pictures of your cosplay, please do. We will be picking, if we get anybody, we will pick winners, and you can either be like a little co-host on an episode, or for the first time, get a little GrishaCast like gift bag. I know, Tara's like, oh yeah, we do have a little bit of stuff. Yeah, we've got a little bit of merch, and we're getting there. So, anyways, next week, yep, we got the 26 through 28, and yeah. Long live the Grishaverse.
Like we're at the end of the hour, so my voice is a little husky. It was.
No mourners.
No funerals.
This has been GrishaCast. Connect with us on the web at GrishaCast.com. Send an email to info@GrishaCast.com.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok at GrishaCast.
A very special thank you to Kendra Dantes in Year 26 for the amazing background music, and our wonderful staff, Chris, Alex, Sid, Michelle, and Amber.